Hello Captains, I am Beholder, developer of Adrorium, and this is the first devlog. If you never heard of Adrorium, it's a game that I have been working on for a few years that combines two distinct genres. On one hand, it's a hardcore spaceship management game where you drive a ship with Newtonian physics and manage all of its grids and systems with hundreds of buttons spread over multiple consoles and blocks. And on the other hand, it's a space survival game where you craft your equipment, dock with wreckages and other points of interest, take out the interior defenses and dismantle the equipment to craft better gear for your ship. That way you will have a better chance against the never-ending hostile drone waves. So I started working on this update in January and it's going to be called the Encounter update. If you stick by until the end of the devlog, you'll see why. Now that that's cleared out, let's start the devlog. In the first week I started implementing new third-person driving camera modes. Previously you only had a cockpit view, the external view and the docking view. In this update I added two more camera modes. The free orbit look to see what's around your ship without having to painstakingly rotate it, and target follow mode that will keep the view centered on the target. That can really improve the spatial awareness in battle. I ended up the week by adding a target trail indicator to the UI, which is useful when you are decelerating and want to keep your heading aligned. The next week I got a brilliant idea. What if bullets can bounce off shields? That would make the dogfights way more interesting, so I added it. And to no surprise, it really looked amazing. I also optimized the mission related info stored in the save file, and on top of that I converted the save file format to a true JSON. So now it is extra easy to view, repair and edit. I ended this week by fixing the PDA to the belt. Now just press tilde or M and the PDA will pop up. It even has a dedicated spot on the belt. On week 3 I decided to finally tackle the biggest feature of this update: the planets. Until now I had a simple 8-kilometer diameter planet. It wasn't that great and it could not do anything else other than few hills and lava. Now that needed to change. This time I was going to add a lot of new features. But first, the rendering. I started by creating a cube that I extruded into a sphere. Now we have a quadrilateralized spherical cube. You try saying that twice. Still, this would not scale well, so the next step was to implement a system that would set the greatest resolution near the player and keep the rest of the planet at a lower resolution. Quad trees are the solution here. After a bit of trial and error I managed to get it to work, and the results looked very good. Chunks were very fast to render and easy to manage. On top of that I added several terrain feature types like mountains, hills, craters and canyons. Still, the planet looked quite dull. It needed colors. For that I took the heights and I colored each vertex using a configurable, height-based color map. Next week I added lava, water, atmosphere and a ring for the new planet framework. But the planets were a lot bigger than before, so I also had to increase the sector size to 20 megameters, and since it was so easy to do now, I made the sector and the planet sizes configurable. The planets are 32 kilometers in diameter by default, but you can go to as big as 12,000 kilometers. That's Earth size. Last thing I did this week was to draw a new sunflare. The previous default one was too bright and yellow and it didn't look like it was seen from space. And this is what I ended up creating. And those are all the features I added in this first month. Which of them was your favorite and which of them you liked the least? Leave a comment below. For this update I still have a lot more that I want to add, including turrets, randomly spawned wreckages, hence the name Encounter Update, optimized lights, a new chat and a pop-up UI, and I also want to rewrite a lot of the ship and save file code. Quick notice, the game has a public alpha. What are you waiting for? Go download it from itch.io or Steam if you're interested in this type of games, links in description. And if you like the video and want to see more devlogs like this, subscribe and leave a like, you know, the usual. That will tell me this is worth doing because devlogs take a long time to make. Also, please wishlist the game, otherwise it won't be able to launch on Steam. It makes a huge difference. Thanks. That being said, thank you for listening and goodbye. Transmission over.